All right, guys, Ian Anderson from Central Coast Disc Golf. We have some more North Umpqua Invitational. This time we're joined by Sports Center legend himself, Nate Sexton.
Thanks a lot.
What was that like, Nate, being on Sports Center, man? Was it just like...
Oh, pretty surreal, man. I mean, it was one of those things where obviously it's been happening quite a lot to my compatriots. And I was just sort of hopeful that one of these days one of my shots would get caught on there. And it was cool that, I didn't even really think about it at first. I knew I hit the ace, and then I started thinking, oh, cool, I'm going to get some ace spot money. That's nice. And then I thought, wait a minute, they filmed this. That might work. And then it did.
Nice, man. Love it. All right, Nate, well, let's watch some North Umpqua Invitational.
Yeah.
Nate, we're back out at the beautiful Whistler's Bend, one of the most picturesque disc golf courses there is. Gotta be.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have this course filmed for some people to see, because this is a really special one for me in Southern Oregon. Amazing course. Can't wait.
Yeah, total hidden gem. We got Mike Murch, we got Dustin Keegan, we got Louis Nava, and Scott Withers, the tournament director. And we're starting off on hole 1. Nate, tell us about it.
Hole 1, this is kind of a new position. They changed some stuff at this course. It used to be 18 for years and years, and now it's 27, and they put some new camping in. So this is a new position. As it says, 375. It's basically dead straight. You need to throw like a fairway driver that'll get a little more turnover than Mike's getting right there.
Yeah.
And kind of coast back to where that upslope starts.
Yeah, it seems like a real tight flex line would be pretty perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
We got Louis Nava up next.
That looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, great shot. Just a little bit short, but great look for a putt.
Yeah.
And I like this. Every 2016 B tier in Oregon. Did you see that?
He has been cleaning them up. He's been doing great. Scotty's a great player.
Yeah, he is. He's stoked about your move to North Carolina.
Yeah, he's taking advantage for sure. But I mean, he's good. It's not like I can beat him with my without trying. He's real tough.
Yeah,
he can
10,
he can
10
bring
20
it.
rated right now. Something
Yeah,
like that?
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to getting back to Oregon and kind of the sheriff will come back to town eventually.
Nice. I've got another Oregon solid player here, and Dustin Keegan.
Yeah, Dustin's great. It's Scotty or Dustin. If you're a betting man and you're looking at a B tier in Oregon, those are your top 2 choices.
Yep. And he got some hype from Zoe Andyke before it starts the round. That always helps out.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, I love her energy, man. It's just like so positive.
Yeah, she is.
So cool. That was a forehand up from Mike, and looks like Scott is going to do the same.
This is our pro dart brother.
Oh yes. You guys got to be like the most famous people throwing those things.
Yeah, he throws great little forehand runs with them. I've seen him make quite a few.
Nice. That one was pretty close. Lewis
it was.
Has a look for 2.
Ooh, close one.
Yep. Just need a little bit more on that one. Dustin went a little bit long left, coming back for his 2.
Pretty much a flat ground putt, which is nice.
Yeah, you don't have too many of those out at Whistler's, Nate.
No, not too many.
Yep.
Yeah, Whistler's Bend, man. My first ever pro win was at Whistler's Bend. The first road trip I ever took, like with my buddy from high school, I think my dad even came with and rode in the back seat, but we were like planning the camping trip, was to Whistler's Bend. My bachelor party was at Whistler's Bend. So it's a special course to me. I mean, it's somewhere I've spent a lot of time, and probably if I could pick anywhere to go play disc golf, it would be here.
That's so cool to hear, man. And then you and your bro are doubles legends out here.
Yeah, we've got quite a few titles to our name at the big Whistler's Bend doubles, probably the biggest tournament held at Whistler's Bend each year.
That's so cool. Tell us about hole 2, sir.
Hole 2, another new one. You've got 2 choices here. So Mike's going to show us kind of a tight line backhand where you might throw like a mid-range, a little too tight there. You need to get around that tree. But the more common route, I would say, is a forehand. So you have that bigger gap on the left. You can play like it's about a 300-foot shot. So you can play a forehand kind of skipping up to the right. Mm-hmm. Maybe Lewis will hit this gap. No, he hit the same tree as Mike. Oh, that's a bad kick too. If that doesn't go too far, he might be all right. But that's a tricky spot sometimes.
Yeah, it seems like the forehand kind of favors the hill as well.
Absolutely. It's a bigger gap, and you're skipping uphill, which is nice. Scotty will show us.
Yeah, good rip with the forehand Firebird right there.
Oh yeah, got a nice skip too. Mm-hmm. If anything, that's just a little short.
Okay. Dustin following suit. like an instant replay.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
The discs must be on top of each other.
Yeah, very close.
And this hole has probably a 400 to 420 foot position as well. That's a really good get if you can sneak through the trees. It's a really tough bonus birdie type of shot.
Is that same forehand line, or is it?
It's almost too far. I mean, you could do it, but I've had success with like a turnover leopard, or even just like in doubles. Sometimes I just rip a roller and just hope it bounces through everything.
Nice.
Oh man, Scotty almost hit it. So yeah, he's just maybe a touch uphill, maybe a touch short of the basket.
Gotcha. Dustin from just marginally closer.
Oh no.
Yeah. Get some rollaway possibilities here, Nate, with this game.
Absolutely. I would say at least half the greens at Whistler's Bend. You got to be thinking about your angles coming in. You can't just, oh, good, it's stuck. You can't just putt blindly and let a hyzer hit those hills, or you're going to have this kind of, a comeback just like this.
Yeah.
This isn't what you want on the second hole coming back for par.
What, like 20, 25 feet here at least?
It looks to be, and a little uphill. And man, the struggle's continuing for Dustin right now on the putting green.
Hopefully get it going here.
At least that stopped.
Yep. Lewis had a nice par save after that drive, though.
Definitely.
Can't say the same for Mike, unfortunately.
No.
So,
yeah, these guys are settling in. Not the greatest putts yet, but 27 holes to get it going, and these are great players, so we're going to see some big putts soon.
They'll warm up eventually, like you said. Yeah, just some
absolutely
early round being film jitters, possibly.
Could be for some of these guys.
Yeah. Although Scott and Dustin are probably used to it at this point.
It's not often you get a star in a CCDG production.
Hey, it's big time, man, right? All right.
Yeah, it's a big moment for a lot of people.
I'd be stoked to be in a film, but I'm never gonna be that good. I'll just be chumping it up for the rest of my life. We're on to what, hole 3 here, Nate?
Yeah, this one is basically a straight shot, just a slight fade. You're probably gonna want to throw like backhand mid range. The toughest part about it is that it, aside from being a tunnel, obviously, is that it slopes downhill behind the basket pretty significantly. So if you're 30 feet short, it's kind of a knee knocker putt.
Gotcha. Seems like a really tough stick.
Yeah, it is. That looks pretty good.
Does he pump it out? Is that an XD right there? Is that right?
It might have been. And XD, it's not a disc you see a whole ton of, but he's from Portland, Oregon. And I would credit Brody Miller and his dad, Jerry, up there. Because Brody was just famously an XD lover for years. I mean, he's moved on to Latitude 64 plastic now. But Portland is kind of like a little hotbed for XD throwers.
I can see that. Brody actually dropped his sponsorship. I wonder if he's back.
Oh, maybe he's throwing XDs again.
Yeah, he wasn't touring, so he just didn't feel it was fair to take him a spot. So he actually...
Yeah, he's a stand-up guy. That doesn't surprise me. That sounds like a Brody thing to do. But yeah, I bet he's chucking XDs. I bet he missed them.
I bet he did. Scott turned over his ching rock a little bit too much, and looks like Dustin did the same thing.
A little too straight.
Yep. We are looking at Scott's second shot, and not an easy up despite the short distance here, Nate.
Yeah, it's a speed control issue for sure, and this looks a little bit hot.
Yep. Well,
so it's so tough because right where you can kind of see the land end is where it starts to slope, and you really don't want to be 30 short. So you're telling yourself, okay, give it enough, but it's so easy to accidentally float it.
Yeah, and then you're not guaranteed to stick either. Rolling is a definite possibility.
That looked really good, though. He controlled the angles nice. Dustin did there.
He did, didn't he? He had the advantage of a flex line where Scott kind of had to throw that hyzer. Oh, Lewis.
Man. Definitely would like to have that back after a drive that good.
Yeah, that was for a 2, wasn't it? Dang.
It was. Good save from Scott.
Yeah, very solid player. Mike also has a birdie look, but should be making that one. There we go.
Nice.
Getting a stroke on the card right there.
Yeah, he can get back that bogey he got on the last hole.
Mm-hmm. Lewis, not the best putt, but it goes in.
Yeah, it still wasn't quite center, but sometimes that can be all right.
Yeah.
At least it's in.
Yep.
And yeah, Dustin's upshot was ideal.
Wow. Well done. Doing work. Mike getting that bogey back, like he said. Taking a 1-stroke lead over Lewis and Scott. Dustin hanging around. And it's going to take us to hole 4, Nate.
Yeah, this one is another tunnel shot. The whole fairway kind of slopes down to the right. Preferred play, I think, is a forehand.
Mm-hmm.
But I have seen some backhand turnovers work. It's just tough because it really breaks right at the end. So you kind of want to. It'd have to be something pretty flippy if you're going to pull it off with the backhand.
Yeah, you can see that backhand just getting on coast mode if you don't turn it over
Yes.
enough.
Yes. And there's a ton of little trees down there to hit, so it can be a little bit of a crapshoot whether you get through and get parked or what happens. This hole has a little bit of a Plinko factor to it.
Gotcha. Mike hung it out too far left. It looks like Lewis did the same.
Yeah, but I couldn't see how it finished, but he might be okay. I mean, it was turning pretty good.
Yeah, it looked like he was
Mike
gonna
hit the
pin
like
high
the
at
one
least.
big tree.
Yeah. Scotty?
Ooh.
Kicked him in the right direction at least.
Yeah, I would expect these guys are going kind of like seasoned Firebirds maybe here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
That's what you want.
Really pushed that tree.
Yeah, that was a good shot. And then you usually take a pretty big skip if you get through clean. So you kind of like miss the trees, and then as soon as it hits the ground, you're like, hit a tree to try to get it to stop next to the basket.
I like it. It looks like Mike came up a little bit short right on his upshot. Gonna have a long putt for par. Here's Scott trying to weave through these trees.
Nothing but a layup here. He can't. He just got to put it out here, get around these trees, and slide up.
Yeah.
Which he's done.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Nice up, Scott. And Lewis still has a look here.
Yeah, it's a downhill putt, so a little scary.
Oh.
Yep, that's sat down okay. If you get through that little wall of trees, you might find yourself having to straddle out pretty wide to get back to the basket.
Ooh, Mike misses the par putt. Gonna be taking a bogey. He's at a very up and down round here so far.
This is a pretty common bogey if you don't have a good drive.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. These guys got a case of the Hyzer putts.
They do, don't they? Get those things flat. Lewis going to save the par. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, if you get a good drive down there, it's either a birdie putt or like a jump putt layup, just sliding it up. But if you hit like in the first 50% of the trees, before you've made any distance, you got to make a pretty special shot to save par because it's just a slippery green and, like I said, so many small trees.
Yeah, you can see that from Mike's look on his second shot. He had a lot to weave through.
Yeah, almost too much to really like plan a route. You just sort of have to throw it and hope a little bit. Pick the biggest gap and see if you can get a little bit of favorable luck to get down there.
Yep, little poke and pray.
Yep.
All right, there's Scott tapping in the par. Mike losing a stroke, coming back for a three-way tie with Lewis and Scott. Dustin is 4 back. And we are on to hole 5. We're starting to open up a little bit here, Nate.
Yeah, this is one of many signature holes out here. You can't really see it in this shot, but on the right is probably like a 40 to 50 foot cliff down to the beautiful North Umpqua River, which circles the entire park actually.
Oh wow!
But it's about a 400 foot shot, dead straight. I would be throwing like a T-bird. That's basically how you want it to look. He just needs that to flex up a little bit. Yeah, I think he must have hit a tree, but that's basically the idea. It's dead straight. If you flip it too much, you have a chance of going to the water. If you hit the trees on the right, it's usually pretty bad. But just a kind of a nice straight shot. This is in danger.
Ooh, good.
Looked like a good kick.
Oh wow, it fought through.
Yeah. If that hits and drops, it has a good chance of rolling to the right, and it's like going down there, getting on a knee, and just kind of pitching out most of the time.
Well, Scott and Lewis agreed with your T-bird assessment, Nate.
Yeah, I think it's smart disc choice. Keep it straight.
Yeah. That looks like maybe a Thunderbird from Dustin.
Bad line, but decent result. He got through. He's going to be jump putting it up.
Mm-hmm.
This got a little sneaky, I think.
I think you're right. Oh, wow, it did.
Oh, look at that. Wow, yeah, not what he intended, but he may have a birdie putt.
Yeah. Dustin, after that tree hit, kind of got a layup here, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's some trees in the back. He looks like he kind of gave it a little try, but it can get a little bit tricky there. This hole actually has a shorter pin that's right next to the water, like right next to the cliff, and a longer pin that's right next to the cliff.
Wow.
So this is the least treacherous of the positions on this hole.
Mm-hmm. Probably nice for tournament play.
Yeah, it's probably the fairest one, I think, of all of them. It's probably my favorite, even though it isn't quite as excitingly next to the edge.
Scott just lays up a little walk-up jump putt. Mike for birdie.
Man, pretty good spot to be. And his putt didn't go terribly long, so he would have liked to hit the line a little bit better, but I think he'll be okay from there.
No doubt. Lewis cleans up the par, and everybody else should be doing the same here.
There you get a little sense of how close the river is.
Yeah. Another beautiful green out here at Whistler's Bend.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that little tree used to grow further down, like they limbed up the branches, which was a nice thing to do because you can kind of stand up on that putt instead of having to crawl in there.
So how's floating on the river, Nate? Solid?
Oh man, it's the best. Yeah, I do it. I do it many times every time I go there, if the weather's decent, obviously.
What time of year is the doubles tournament?
It's usually like mid-June.
Oh, that's prime floating season.
Yeah, this year I can't go, but I wish.
Yep, maybe next year.
I'll be there.
A little bit
Hole
uphill.
6, yeah,
right.
A little bit uphill, really tight gap. You'll see either a backhand turnover or a forehand roller, most likely.
Cool. Lewis on the box.
That needs to get lucky, and it did.
Wow.
So he found some sneaky little gap, and he'll be putting from there.
That is the
You can
road.
see that there's really only one gap, right where that walking path kind of leads you.
Yeah. Lewis found another one, to his credit.
True.
I'm sure not the one he planned, though.
Yeah, I should have qualified it one legitimate gap.
Yes, exactly.
Many illegitimate gaps.
Very, very true. That was a great shot from Scott right there.
Yeah, that you don't see him better than that. That was so perfect.
Keegan's going to try and follow that line, but easier said than done. Ooh,
that should be okay. The walkout to the next hole is over there.
Okay.
So I think you'd prefer to kick right than left, given the choice.
Mike, a little bit high there.
Ooh, that might be a little worse because he's not going to be as far over as the walkout.
Oh, you are.
Looks like he's got an opportunity though.
Yeah, there's a window.
Oh man, opportunity for a 2.
Almost threw it in.
That was a great shot.
Well done, Mike. Oh yeah, you're right about Dustin, Nate.
Yeah. Not too bad of a spot.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Ugh.
He might have got a little, I'm not going to say greedy is the wrong word, but it looked like he might have tried to make that. I think he had a pretty easy little hyzer.
Yeah.
But he might have been trying to kind of go for a lot, and sometimes that's the price you're going to pay.
And yep, he is losing a stroke because of it, Nate.
Yeah, probably 2 strokes to good old Lewis and Scotty.
That's correct, yeah.
Because they got through there pretty nice.
Yeah, Lewis is absolutely just pin high left.
There you go. Good putt.
Yep, getting it in there. Carding a nice 2. Dustin for his bogey after that errant upshot. At least he cleans that one up.
Yeah, that's good.
Stop the bleeding, and Scott.
Definitely.
Mike for par.
Yeah, Scott's still even closer than that.
Wow, what a drive. The Gazelle, man, it's a cool disc. You don't see them thrown a lot, but
yeah, it's old school.
Yeah, like a lot of Scott's bag.
He's got a lot of cool stuff in there for sure. Like kind of underrepresented type of discs.
I mean, anybody that throws a dart, it's got to be at least pretty cool.
Yeah, I tend to operate under that assumption.
Yeah. Hole 7, 360. Nate, this hole it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, this is another signature hole. I mean, you can see the basket down there. You probably have 40 feet of downsloping hard pan dirt before it's a 40-foot cliff to the water.
Yeah.
So if you're chain high, you're in the water.
Yep.
And it has been aced. So, I mean, I've been there for a couple aces on this one, or I've been near enough to see them. So that shows it right there. He flew a nice flat shot, but probably chain high, and that thing's going straight out.
Yep.
This is a play you see a lot to kind of control the distance.
Uh-huh.
I don't personally do it. I feel like it gets up there in the wind a little too much, and I also always just kind of feel like that spike hyzer has a chance to roll.
Yeah, sure.
So I go more with the Lewis approach, where you just go in flat mid-range, and then there's actually some scotch broom bushes all along the left side, and the best play is just to catch the very last ones that kind of catch your disc as a little backstop.
Okay. Man, I was so afraid I just threw a putter off the tee here. I was like,
yeah. A little bit different play from Dustin, kind of going more of a stall than a pure hyzer.
Oh, yeah, totally true. Ooh, not an easy up here for Mike. And
it's a pretty easy up, but it's not fun for your like pride, you know, because you just have to like toss it under. Just like this. Oh, this drop's only going for that.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Wow, that is crazy.
That was pretty ballsy. Dustin, looks like he barely hung on, Nate.
Yeah, that's close to the edge. And if you go over, you're back to that drop zone. So it's almost an automatic bogey.
Mm-hmm.
Don't roll. Good.
Yeah, taking his par at least, which no shame in a par on this one at all.
No. See these bushes right on the left of the frame. That's where you want your drive to go.
Gotcha.
Just kind of catch up in there. Try not to get poison oak.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on, man.
Lewis.
That's tough for Lewis. That's going to be a big number. A double bogey.
Yeah, not what you're looking for there. And Mike with kind of a scary par putt here.
Yeah, and this green is usually a little bit windier than you would like when you're scared and taking a tough shot like that. Look at that drive with the hyzer. So he found the perfect spot.
He called him right for your shrubbery you were talking about.
Right for the spot, yeah. That's what I just go there with a different line. I go over stable rock, throw it low, and try to like double skip it over there. I'd much rather be short than long.
Yeah, long looks like you're rolling pretty good.
Yeah,
most of the time. There's a lot of movement on that one right there with Scott taking the lead even. And hole 8 and 8. You should be getting a 2 on this one.
Yeah, this has got to be the easiest hole at Whistler's Bend. You're just kind of throwing a little hyzer, mid-range or driver, whatever you want to do. Looks like Scott's going with another underrepresented disc.
Yeah.
S Gremlin.
He's looking for that dual sponsorship.
Yeah.
Do you still have that, or
no? They shut that down.
Did they?
Yeah, that's a thing of the past.
Oh, they should have grandfathered you in.
I wish, yeah. So here's a gator. So these guys are going kind of a little lower line.
Wow, that looks good.
Perfect.
Keegan?
And I usually throw like a eagle or a firebird. These days I'm carrying only firebird, so I probably would throw a firebird here. On that, more line like that, a little higher, and just try to spike it in.
Yeah. Looks like a little bit short left, but that'll be a putt for Dustin.
Yeah, in the circle for sure.
Liquid Cell. I wonder if that's a salient disc.
Yeah, I've not recognized one of the discs yet that he has. I mean, it's a company that you don't. I mean, they're not carried in many stores, so honestly, I just don't even know what any of them are.
Well, they're bankrupt now, so.
Yeah, I guess they're gone now.
Yeah. Scott for a 2. Not the best putt, but it goes in. I guess any putt that goes in is the best putt.
Another 2. You can see back there on the hill. At the very top of that widest dirt road looking thing, that's the tee for the famous top of the world hole that you can look forward to if you tune into part 2.
Oh man, I can't wait.
800-foot downhill crush.
That thing makes De La's top of the world look like the bunny slope.
Yeah, it does for sure.
Yep. Scott holding on to that lead. Got it by 2 now, and we're on to hole 9. A little bit uphill here, Nate.
Yeah, a little uphill. You can pretty much go with just a low rip distance driver right at the basket indicator there. Or you can play like a big sort of turnover to flex, or you can play a roller.
Okay.
Scott's going to rip that underneath.
Yeah, he's got the power to take that line, no doubt.
And I'm going to say that's probably within 40 feet because he threw that nice and flat, looking to take a big skip.
Man, that's a crush. Uphill 425, like.
With a low ceiling.
Yeah, with a low ceiling. Yeah, I can't take any kind of distance line.
Yeah, it's not the type of hole where you can. If you throw 425, you can't reach it.
Yep.
it's farther than that.
Yep. Mike left it a little bit left. Dustin also has the power to get there.
That looks nice.
He and Scott are just matching shots on so many holes. It's fun. It's fun to see.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be the over the top line. You can see he's looking up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's not good though.
No, you need a lot more turn than that.
You need to turn it a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. See if he can get up and down. Got a high ceiling or high floor, low ceiling right here.
Yeah. He's got to go with kind of a low hyzer. Probably take a couple skips.
He's trying to find a window here.
No.
Oh, there's the basket.
Oh yeah.
See the number plate. Mike came up quite a bit short left. A little jump putt for a 2 or a 3.
That's where you probably see most drives. You know, from a decent disc golfer that throws it underneath. You can't really clear that hill and get way up here until you have, borderline elite power, I'd say.
Yep, agreed. Dustin came up short on that birdie bid. Here is Lewis to save his par. Not that close.
No, looks like probably 45.
Wow.
Not quite.
Yeah, give it a good bid. Just a little bit short. And Scott with a really fantastic drive, Nate.
Yeah, that's really good.
Wow.
Nice.
He's continuing to separate here.
Yeah. That's a great two.
Play a stroke on 99% of the field right there.
Yeah. I would say less than 5 deuces in the open field per round on a hole like that.
Yeah. Lewis cleans up the bogey after Dustin cleans up the par. And I believe, Nate, that's all we got for part 1. Come back for part 2 for some crazy top of the world type shots. It's a fun watch.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Can I hold it?